Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips team leaders to lead their way through all of the challenges they face on a daily basis. This show is sponsored by the CLC team, and they help turn poor communicating teams with unhealthy relationships and attitudes into high-performing and high-producing unified teams. The CLC team also offers online mastermind groups and an online leadership community for leaders who want to continuously learn and develop their leadership skills with other leaders. These groups are basically like your personal trainer for leadership development and growth. Find out more about them at clcteam.com. Hey, hope this is a great day for you. So let me ask you, have you ever disappointed anyone? Or have you ever disappointed your team? Now I know this is a tough question to answer, as it may seem like you are letting others down. However, disappointing people may actually be a good thing depending on why you are disappointing them. In a leadership role, you need to make difficult decisions and choices on a continual basis, and that may mean disappointing some or all of your team members, depending on who they are. Take, for instance, a situation where you know your team can accomplish a specific goal and you have to push them fairly hard and ask them all to give a little extra effort. Now, initially, you may disappoint quite a few of them. However, when they complete the goal and look back, man, that initial disappointing feeling will turn into a great feeling of accomplishment. Now, granted, this should not be the norm, but at times we need to push our team members a bit harder than at other times. Another situation that may cause disappointment is when you get promoted into a higher position and instantly become the leader of some of your coworkers and who were peers the day before. And now you're their leader, and you have to make decisions that may not be all that popular from their point of view, causing them to be disappointed in you. And this is a difficult situation to be in, probably one of the toughest. And I found the best way to deal with this is to practice humility. Talk them through the unpopular decision. Be upfront in explaining as many of the details as possible, but stick to your guns. Another common situation where you are bound to disappoint some of your team members is saying no when they request time off. I mean, let's face it, everyone cannot be on vacation at the same time, and you're just bound to run into problems from time to time when you have too many people request the same time off. The bottom line here is we're going to disappoint other people in our lives. And being a leader, man, it's just no exception. The important thing to remember is to be aware of the times when you may be disappointing other people. When you recognize these times, try to be as open as possible as to why you are making certain decisions. If you are not aware of these times, it may just be a blind spot that you're not aware of. Hey, let's face it, as leaders, we need to push our team members, and it's bound to disappoint them. However, be aware of these times. Be proactive in explaining the why behind the what. And man, always stick to your plan and decisions. Today's challenge is to think about the times that you may have disappointed some of your team members in the past and ask yourself if you handled that properly or if you just carried on like as if nothing was wrong. Did you acknowledge their disappointment? Did you address the situation in a way that they were able to understand the why behind the what? Think about if you could have handled that situation any better. And then think about future decisions that may disappoint your people. How can you approach it in a way that they understand your decisions? I think it's important to realize that they may not like the decision, and it still may be unpopular, but that's all part of being a leader. We will not please every one of our team members every day. I mean, you can bank on that. But as long as we are disappointing them for the right reasons, the disappointment may be necessary. Now, I just want to address disappointment from a biblical standpoint, because if you think about it, Jesus disappointed some of his closest followers at times. One example of this is the story of Lazarus in the book of John, chapter 11. Jesus waited an extra 2 days to go where Lazarus was, even though he knew he was extremely sick. And Jesus arrived 4 days after Lazarus had died. And after 4 days of grieving, Lazarus' sisters were very disappointed. They each tell Jesus separately that if he had been there, their brother Lazarus would not have been dead. And you can find that in John 11:21 and 11:32. Now just think about that. How disappointed do you think you would be if you knew your sibling's life could have been spared, but the person who could have saved them purposely stayed away? Now, of course, Jesus did this because he knew God was going to be glorified by what he was going to do in the coming days. But I can't help but to think about how many people were probably disappointed when they heard Lazarus was dead. But Jesus knew delaying getting there was for a good reason. Now, I don't think we're going to raise anyone from the dead when we disappoint our team members. But the point I'm making here is sometimes leaders have to disappoint their people because they know it's going to turn out better in the end. They know it's for good. Hey, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Please join us again tomorrow for a brand new episode. Until then, run to your challenges.